The town of Red Hollow lay in southern Montana, where even the wind sometimes lost its direction. It was often missing from maps. No trains ever came through, no stagecoach. It was as if the world had forgotten it. Or perhaps the town wanted to forget the world. Red Hollow was a lonely place, its wooden houses scorched by the wind, its roads dusted with barren dust, where a handful of people struggled to survive. And amidst this loneliness, on a small farm beyond the hills, lived Elijah. A battered hat, leather boots, each shaped by time, and a coat weighed down by years. Elijah's life was like his silence, heavy, static, and profound. Every morning he woke at the same time, put the old kettle on the fire, and watched his sheep. He spoke not to himself or anyone else. The only sounds were the wind beating against the wooden windows or the occasional grunting of the sheep. But that morning, everything changed. Elijah had just poured his tea when a dark figure appeared on the horizon. A woman was walking slowly through the dust cloud. Her clothes were torn, her hands calloused, her face sunburned. She carried an old sack on her back, her steps slow with fatigue. Elijah saw her for the first time at the well. The woman slowly lowered the rope to draw water. As Elijah approached, their eyes met. Neither the woman spoke nor Elijah. They simply stared at each other. The woman spoke first. "If you're alone, how about two people? I'll stay quiet. I won't disturb you." Elijah simply bowed his head and returned. The woman followed. There was no question, no curiosity. Loneliness sometimes made words unnecessary. In the evening, the two of them were sitting by the fire. Elijah poured tea into an old tin mug and handed it to her. She accepted it without thanking him. Both fell silent. The shepherd opened his old journal and scribbled a few lines. The woman glanced at him occasionally, but didn't read. Silence had become their common language. After a while, Elijah spoke. "No one comes here." The woman shook her head as she brought the cup to her lips. "I'm practically nobody now, too." That night, the bells rang from the town's church, a bell that hadn't rung in years. Elijah listened. The woman flinched. The past was approaching with footsteps. But that night, there was only the wind and the crackling of the fire, and the silence of two wounded souls growing accustomed to each other. The next morning when Elijah poured her tea, as usual, the woman was alive. She was wrapped in a blanket, ready to come. Elijah followed her for a while. Then he fed the animals that had come out. Even the sheep seemed quieter that morning. The woman woke up a moment later and went outside. She lifted her face to the morning sun and took a deep breath. Elijah offered her a slice of bread. The woman nodded and took it. "Thank you," she said. For the first time there was a break in her voice. After breakfast, Elijah sat down on the chair next to the old barn. The woman came everywhere too. They didn't speak for a while. Then Elijah asked for her head to translate. "What's your name?" The woman thought for a moment. "Mary?" A pause. "Mary Quinn." Elijah nodded as if hearing her name for the first time. "Are you running?" Mary fixed her eyes on the horizon. "I ran as far as I had to. Now I'm just hiding." At that moment, a distant sound of horseshoes was heard. Elijah listened intently. Mary's face paled. "Do you understand his voice?" Mary bowed her head. "A man I'm trying to forget. Perhaps he'll never leave me alone." That night, Elijah couldn't sleep. He checked his old rifle, replenished his powder, and sat quietly by the stove. As his eyes were fixated on one thing, an image from his past came to mind. A burning house, rising screams.
He too had run away once, and he had sought refuge in silence.
Mary emerged from the room, Are you leaving? Elijah shook his head. Leaving and running away aren't the same thing. I will stay. Mary sat down next to him. For the first time, she approached Elijah.
That man, Colt, he's not rich, but his greed is greater than his anger. He's not looking for me, but for what belongs to me.
What, for example?
His pride. And the old bracelet on my wrist.
Elijah glanced at Mary's arm. There was a thin silver bracelet there. Is it just an ornament? Mary looked away. A name was engraved beneath it. But it wasn't my name. The next day, Elijah mounted his horse and set off for the town of Red Hollow. He hid Mary in the old mining cabin in the hills. No one goes there anymore. Not for you, not for Colt. Mary looked him in the eye.
You'll come back, won't you?
I always come back, Elijah said. The atmosphere in town was tense. Even the crowd at the bar was silent. Sheriff Harrow watched him with tearful eyes. It starts over, doesn't it, Elijah? I'm at the first sentence of an unfinished story, Sheriff. Won't you help? The sheriff took off his glasses. This town has forgotten how to help, but it has also forgotten how to be silent. Follow me. Together they entered the old archives room. The sheriff pulled out a file from years ago. Colt McKellen, wanted, burglary, assault, attempted murder. Your Mary, the sheriff said, may have saved this man from hell, but she didn't know hell was coming with it. 2 days later, a horseman emerges from the dusty town road, wearing a black jacket and a gray hat. He slowly rides his horse, advancing as the silence descends upon the people. Colt McKellen has returned. The scars on his cheeks are still fresh, his eyes dark with the vengeance of the past. He stops at the bar and enters. No one makes eye contact, but he approaches the bartender. Is Elijah Walker still alive? The bartender doesn't answer. Colt throws money on the ground. I'll pay him dead, more if he's alive. Around the same time, Elijah is rummaging through the sack Mary left behind. Inside are a few clothes, a dried flower, and a yellowed letter. The lines written on the letter. If you ever receive these lines, know that you are the father of that child, but I lied to protect you. Elijah folds the letter with trembling hands. Tears well up in his eyes. In that moment, he realizes Colt isn't just after Mary, he's after the child as well. And now, it's not just about the past, it's about the future. Elijah returns to the hut where Mary is hiding. Mary is kneeling on the ground, praying with her child. Elijah enters, letter in hand. Why didn't you tell me? Mary doesn't look up. Because I wanted you to live. Because that child would be the reason you survived. Elijah kneels on the ground, not like a father, not like a warrior, just like a man. A man caught between forgiving and protecting. Colt arrives at the town square. He sits down at a table. Elijah arrives. They both sit down. There are no weapons, yet. But sometimes words are sharper than guns. Colt, laughing. Mary was mine, and so was that child. Elijah. Nobody belongs to anybody, but that child is my life now. Colt stands up. Then I have come to take your life. In the middle of the night. Guns are drawn. The town falls silent. The battle is brief, but its echo is long. The colt falls to the ground. Elijah is wounded but standing. Mary runs, her child following. For the first time Elijah sheds tears. I lived, but inside me, a man died. You are reborn, Mary says. You are a father now. Months later, Elijah takes the boy riding. Mary waits outside the house with a basket. Birds sing. The wind still blows. But this time not of fear, but of peace. Red Hollow fell silent. But this time it was a silence filled with hope.